branch side for several years, and in my current role for about 3. I'm also the Director of Branch Operations and Mortgage Specialist. So if you have needs in any of those areas, my card is over on the table, along with a couple of handouts to support the presentation for today. So please grab those over there if you would like. So today we are talking about fraud and scam prevention. We're going to be looking at a lot of different scenarios. First of all, I want to point out that last year's numbers were over 2.6 million fraud reports, and that is over $10 billion in fraud losses to consumers, to the regular individual person. The year before was 2.5 million reports and $9 million lost. And those are those that reported losses. Can you imagine how many people have not reported losses? So that is where we are today, and it continues. The top fraud is imposter, online shopping, negative reviews, prizes and sweepstake, lottery, investment, business, and job opportunities. And we're going to highlight most of those areas in the presentation and talk in depth, and I will provide you with some personal experiences that I have dealt with people that live and work in our areas, real life situations, because it does happen. So what we're going to talk about today is we're going to define a scam, why they work, dive deep into the different types of scams, review warning signs, the big red flags, and what you should do if you become a victim, and finally, what you can do to protect yourself. So first of all, what is a scam? Are we dead?
There we go. I got it.
Okay. What is a scam? A scam is a trick that a con artist plays on you to extort money of an unsuspecting victim. That's it in a nutshell. That's all they want to do. And they're very good at their jobs. And now we're going to talk about, next slide, why they work. Lots of different reasons. I'm not very tech savvy, so I have been a victim of a tech support. We will talk about that later down the road. Some people have mental deficiencies. They just, due to age, dementia, or just not, I guess, well versed or educated in the types of scams that may be out there. People are eager to help. Let's face it, we are an organization, we are an entity that likes to help people. So we want to help and do what's right. We naturally trust people and we want to help people. And then there are some that they want the easy buck. They may have financial difficulties, so they may want to get money quickly. So we're going to talk about lots of different things there. So the scammers, they are really, really smart. What do? They're going to prey on your emotions and your vulnerabilities because, again, we are a culture that we like to help people. They do not take no for an answer. They start out really kind in conversations, but they will be more and more forceful via text, emails, or phone calls, and they don't like to take no for an answer. In addition, they insist on secrecy. So they will not let you talk to people. They say that it's very urgent. They want to gain your trust. And they also have no problem stealing from people that are ill, they have financial difficulties, or have little money. And that's it on that. How they find us. So we all know that there's our information. There's public information that marketing companies sell. So that's one way that they find us. They go out on social media. So not only are our friends and family on social media seeing what we have done, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, any of those platforms, well, so are the scammers or the bad actors. They're also trolling those areas to find out about us and how they can take advantage of us, where our vulnerabilities may be. They could infiltrate local groups or clubs that you belong to. If you're in a bowling league, if you are part of a church organization or some kind of community service entity, they may infiltrate those groups, befriend you, and then they're going to start asking for money or they need a favor. Be leery of those individuals. Finally, the door-to-door. group of folks. So we've heard about that on the news, contractors, people knocking on the door, you want the Kirby vacuum cleaner, whatever. Those are, you know, those are the top four. So how do you spot a scam? What are the key warning signs? So this is a really good takeaway, this slide. Usually the bad actors will require that you do immediate action. They don't want you to think about it. They don't want you to think on it and sleep on it for 24 hours. They need you to act now. There's an insistence on secrecy, like I had said. They don't want you to talk to friends or family or coworkers. They need their money now and they need it up front. And they tend to request hard to track payments. We are going to touch a little bit more on each of these so that you have a better idea of what is included in each category. So the different types of scams out there, we are going to talk in depth about all of them. There's fake check scams. There's lots of different ways people can intercept checks. Tech support, the sweetheart, family imposter, government imposter, phony charities, investment tips or deals, the too good to pass up investment opportunities, and contractor scams. So we'll dive right into the fake check scams. And these are the types of scams if you have gotten a letter in the mail from Publishers Clearinghouse saying that you've won. Well, did you even enter Publishers Clearinghouse to even win anything? You could have won a grant to have your windows replaced with a check attached to the bottom. You could have won a trip somewhere with a check on the bottom. What they want you to do is deposit that check. And then they're asking for you to send part of that check money back for reservations, for taxes if you won the lottery, administration fees, processing. So that's what they are looking to do. That's okay. So the different kinds of check scams are the sweepstakes like we just talked about, the grant opportunities, foreign business deal, you know, so the Prince of Nigeria has this great land opportunity for you. We see faxes here occasionally that, you know, looking for land deals. Usually, and it does happen here in the United States too. I'm pretty sure I had a customer several years ago that was sending money to random individuals, and the more I talked to him, it was to buy land and out west. I don't know if he really ever got the land, so it doesn't necessarily have to be a foreign entity. It does happen here as well. So make sure you see the property before you buy it. Someone you meet online asks for money. Like I indicated earlier, you know, the bad actors are out on Facebook too. I have dealt with a few customers that they have had a Facebook message conversation with a bad actor, and they've enticed them, they've taken advantage. This person lives alone, she has a part-time job, she's not too financially well off, so they were taking advantage of all of those characteristics of her, and they would send her money to have her car repaired, but then ask her to then buy Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is one of those untrackable forms of payments. So when that money was gone, it was gone. So they did take advantage of her. So just be careful who you're interacting with online. You know, make sure if someone is messaging you that you've met them, you've met them face to face, you've shooken their hand, you've had a cup of coffee with them, gone for a walk with them, whatever the case may be. But I would never send money to anyone that I've never met in person. Let's see, what else? So there's some checks that, there's mail fraud. So people are taking checks out of the mail. You may write a check to National Grid to pay your electric bill. Well, these folks are taking the mail and they're using a chemical to remove the ink of the payee and the amount and redoing the check. So that is called an altered check. They could also take the check that they intercepted and go to checks, order online and order checks with your account and routing number on them and then start using them. It's scary, right? It really is. But it is happening. It is happening in our area. You know, our checks go to Albany now. there's a little bit more crime down that way than there is up here, but it does affect us. It does
State police
affect.
have announced that recently, even to the New York State police announced that recently to watch that,
Yes.
sending checks in the mail now.
We've actually been victim of it here, as far as the bank goes. We've had mortgage closings where we FedEx payoffs, and our FedEx envelopes have been intercepted, and the checks taken out of them. So it is happening.
Yeah.
My
Be
mother's
careful
in
what you're
Ohio,
mailing.
and she had a lot of, I mean, they just told everybody, don't even put a check in the mail.
I
Don't
agree.
do it. Just direct deposit. Don't do it, because
Yeah.
it's every day just about.
Mhm.
But I didn't know it was here too.
Oh, sure.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yep, it is. Because we may mail a check and it might be safe right here in Plattsburgh or in our local area, but where is it going? What cities does it go through to get where it needs to be delivered? Yeah, so some of the other types of check scams that are out there, we have mystery shoppers. So if you ever get a call to be a mystery shopper and they want you to go to Kinney's to buy a Western Union, or they want you to go to a grocery store and buy gift cards and then report back on the customer service. Makes sense, right? However, they want you to send the Western Union money order, and they're going to send you money, or they're going to send you money for the gift cards. And once you call, you're supposed to call them back with the gift card information. So again, once that money is gone, it is gone. So those are two other forms that are untraceable. So we've got the cryptocurrency, we have wires, we have money orders, and the gift cards. All untraceable types of payment forms that the bad actors will ask for. So car wrap details or personal assistant, they're in the same line. What that is, people are working remotely now a lot more. People are looking for different jobs, supplemental income, and they're looking for all of these jobs. And well, the bad actors are posing as employers, and they will send you money to have your car wrapped and be free advertising. They'll send you a check to go order office supplies, get a desk, get a computer, get your printer set up. Oh, they sent you the check. Well, they mistakenly sent you too much and you need to send them money back. That check, once you deposit it, is going to bounce. And you have already sent money because banks are legally obligated to allow access to funds. The check may not have cleared, but you are allowed to have access to those funds. We usually don't know if a check is actually cleared deposit for about 5 or 6 business days. Overpayments online, I've seen this a few times, and it plays into a tech support scam. So if you give someone access to your computer, or they say that they are from Verizon, and you look at your checking account, they may have said, well, we owe you $100 credit for overpayment. However, we put $1,000 in there. We added another zero. Can you send $900 back? What we see is they've had access to your online banking profile. They've moved money from your savings account to your checking account to make it look like they put $1,000 into your account. So when you send that $900 back, you're sending your $900 to them. So just really important. Yeah, I mean, you can't escape it. You can't. You can just be vigilant and come to things like this to educate yourself, to know what to look out for. How many of you have seen this come up on your desktop or laptop? Yeah, I did. About 10 years ago, got a new computer. This came up, and it was Microsoft. And I said, oh, well, apparently I don't have my virus anti-protection software installed, so I called Microsoft. The guy was very convincing. Oh yeah, it looks like you've already got a virus in there. You need to let us have access. Well, I gave him access. And come to find, and then after he's roaming around a little bit and I'm seeing things, and he said, well, we're gonna need X amount to take care of this virus. I said, you know what? I have an appointment. I need to get going. I'll call you back. You know what my next phone call was? To my local trusted tech guy. I called him and he said, Medara, this is a scam. And so he easily told me what to do, unplug everything, brought my laptop to him, he cleaned it up. No harm, no foul. My gut got the better of me and said, no, something doesn't seem right here. And so I listened, and sure enough, they're that good. They are just that good. You know, this one is still out there. This one happens all the time. We are dealing with customers regarding this, business or personal accounts. And the best thing you can do is just detach from the internet until you get your computer cleaned up. And then, of course, watch your accounts. So we're going to go back and make sure we hit everything. So we've done tech support, sweetheart scams, taking advantage of people that are lonely, live alone, and claim to be in love with you. If a bad actor professes their love and you've never met them within a short period of time, that is a big red flag to look out for. They're going to ask for money to come see you. They're going to ask for money so that they can buy you a plane ticket to come somewhere and meet them. Or they may have family that needs help. They're going to ask for money. Don't send it. The family imposter. So we've heard on the news about, you know, phone calls. Hey, grandma, I'm in jail. Grandma, I'm hurt. I need you to send me money. Again, they insist on secrecy. They don't want you to tell anyone. They need the money right away. They put the fear of God into you that something bad is going to happen to them. So, yeah, don't send money. Hang up. My best tool for you is to just say, you know what, I have an appointment, I have a meeting, I have another phone call coming in, I'll call you right back. Get off the phone with them. And then take your time, take a beat, take a second to think about what they're asking and does it make sense. So call your grandson's mom or dad. Is he really hurt? Is he really injured? Is he really in jail? Government imposter. So we all know that government agencies, Social Security, IRS, they're not going to call you and ask for information. They are going to mail you a letter. My husband recently signed up for his online Social Security information, and he got a confirmation letter in the mail on the back of the envelope. Scams are out there and different ways to protect yourself. So, you know, everybody knows that it's out there. Everyone's doing their best to try to educate individuals to protect themselves. Phony charities. Again, we like to help people in need, right? So the war in Ukraine, natural disasters. We want to help people that are negatively affected by these and impacted. So we want to send them money. Well, the bad actors take advantage of those situations as well and ask for money. So the best course of action is if you want to donate to national or disasters, to go ahead and do that through a local entity that then sends the money on. Investment tips or deals. Yeah, if you get a call and I have a deal for you, darling, let me tell you, it is ground floor. There's only 30 opportunities to get in on this low risk, high rate of return investment.
You got the wrong mirror.
You got the wrong mirror. That's right. Eddie would fall for it. But again, you know, what investment? Ask them what the fees are, what administration fees, what is that rate of return? Ask questions, because I know my investments, they're not free and they don't always have a high rate of return. So if it's too good to pass up, you probably should pass it up. And then contractor scams, yeah, we've seen that on the news too, where contractors come in and they see that you're looking for a roofer and they come and visit. Oh yeah, yep, I can do that roof, it'll be $10,000. Well, they get the roof off and then all of a sudden the soffits are rotten, the rafters are rotten, you need a lot more work than you originally thought. They're asking for more money, they want it up front. Red flag. Okay. So after all of that, and all that education, and you know that you're a real smart cookie, you fall for it. I fell for it. What happens? You deposit that fake check. You think it's good, you deposit it. What is your obligation? If we find out that that was a fraudulent check, who takes the loss? Does the bank or does the customer? The customer. And why is that? You did it. You're in the best position to know if you're expecting these funds. You know, did you enter to win a trip to Hawaii? No? Then why would you be winning a trip to Hawaii? You know, so just be vigilant. Look at these things. Make sure that it's from a legal entity. And you can verify entities. You know, just Google them and see what's out there for these entities. But it's not just the bad check money that you could be out. It could be out whatever you sent them. If there was an overdraft fee, if it's a returned item, there's returned item fees that banks charge. If it's counterfeit, if you did or didn't have knowledge of this, there could be legal ramifications as well. So it's really important to pay attention and to know what is happening. Next slide. Like I said, bottom line is you will have to repay the money if that check or money order comes back and it wasn't a legitimate check. So it's just really important to talk to your banker. Next. So how do you prevent yourself from becoming a target? Just remember, there is no legitimate reason anyone would give you a check or more money order and ask you to send money back, right? Never use money from a check to buy gift cards, send money orders, buy cryptocurrency for someone else, or send a wire out. Please also remember that the fraud that works today is not the fraud that's going to work tomorrow. So it's always evolving, it's always changing. Before COVID, we didn't see a whole lot of check fraud. Everybody was doing stuff electronically. There wasn't a whole lot going on in the mail. But then when COVID hit, all of a sudden, it's cool to do checks again and do check fraud because it takes some time for banks to realize that it's not good. It takes 5 to 6 days to clear, right? So that came about. If they insist on secrecy, you know that it's a ploy and you need to walk away. Confirm all stories. So if it's a charitable donation, look up that charity, do your research online, make sure it's a legitimate charity, find out where you can donate locally, and review your privacy settings on your phone and social media accounts and any other platforms that you may use. Next. If you're a victim, what should you do? Well, don't be embarrassed. Look at me, I'm a security officer, I fell for it. Tell someone you trust, have a conversation, do that research, report the scam to your banker, and contact the police or federal agencies. And finally, you definitely want to monitor your accounts for unusual activity. So I know a lot of people are leery of having online banking accounts because they can be hacked, they can be compromised. Well, that's the best course of action for you, is to have that online bank account and look and check on it daily. Are those charges on your debit card, are they yours? Did that check that cleared, did you write it to the person? Look at the image of that check. Because if you wrote a check for $2,000 and sent it to your nephew, well, someone else could have received that check and washed the name and made it payable to someone else. So not only are you looking at your account to say, yeah, check 25 cleared for $2,000, look at the image of the check. Make sure it's written to who you said it was written to. And your bank can always help you. We are always going to ask you. We have trained our frontline staff, our managers, myself. We are all in a position to help you and to protect you. So if you receive a check, your banker's going to ask you questions. If you come in to cash a check for a large amount of money, your banker's going to ask questions surrounding the cash withdrawal or the large deposit. And we're not trying to be nosy, just trying to protect you in the end. So always, always, always be honest with your banker. We could care less what you're doing with your money. We just want to make sure that, if you're going to buy a car, you've seen the car, you're going to put your hands on that car before you hand the money over. And what can you do? Well, you can register with the Do Not Call list at donotcall.gov to limit the calls that you get unsolicited. It's not going to block all of them, but it will block a majority of them.
And I'm also told that I'm not sure if this is true, but you have to do that periodically.
Yeah, I believe you do. Mm-hmm.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, and also with phone calls, just want to let you know that the scammers are really smart and they do what's called spoofing. So your caller ID doesn't always work to verify who's calling you. Because they'll call from an 800 number, but when it shows on your caller ID, it'll look like a 518, 561, a local entity number. So that's called spoofing, and that does happen. So just be vigilant of that. Sign up to limit your junk mail with dmachoice.org. use an antivirus software on your electronic devices. Be careful before you click on emails. So around Christmas time, we get some emails saying from the UPS, from FedEx, from the post office saying that our package couldn't be delivered. Click here. Where it says click here, hover over that and see what website it takes you to. It might not take you to FedEx.com. And if it doesn't, that's something to look out for. Another thing to look out for in emails that you want to be careful of is look at the grammar, look at the punctuation, look at did they spell your name correctly? Did they spell the company's name correctly? Because sometimes Amazon will not be a Z, it'll be an S, something that looks very similar.
And if you hover, sometimes they're, sometimes they're not only sending it to you, they're sending it to 20 other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big sign. Too.
Yeah, so if you hover because then it'll pull up a website for you. So when you're ordering or doing things, it's best to go through your Amazon account. It's best to go through your Apple account to verify whether a package did or did not, or something got ordered or placed. And limit your personal information that you put on social media. Because like I said, not only are your friends and family, and we want our friends and family to see what's happening in our life and our family's life. But the bad actors are looking at that too to find out, okay, where can I take advantage of you today? Is that it? I think that's it. Yay. That is it.
Oh, that's nice.
So, do you have any questions, comments? Yes.
You know how it was out there for a while, when you get the phone calls, beware, don't say yes to anything.
Mm-hmm.
Any information on that?
I haven't done any research on that. I'm really just focused on the banking aspects that we really see.
I caught myself after, I know not to say it, but I've caught myself and there's you just said, yeah, I did. I don't even realize I did.
Yeah.
I'm knowing I'm not supposed to,
Mm-hmm.
but he's caught me saying it.
I know. I try not to say yes too.
Yeah,
That's still a really good thing to do.
It's
yeah.
like you watch, but time's
I
out
wouldn't
there. They're
even
real good
answer
at
a
getting you to
phone
say
call.
yes.
I would not answer a phone call from someone I did not know the phone number. I would let it go
That's what
to
I've gotten
voicemail,
to.
and then I would
Yep.
listen to that to see if it's something I'm really interested in, because what you're talking about is AI, where they take the artificial intelligence, mimic your voice, and then send an urgent message somewhere saying, Joanne is in trouble, she needs your help, and we're just getting into the AI now. But the scammers that Medara is referring to, they are so insistent. They will give specific instructions. When you go to the bank is going to want to talk to you. Don't talk to your banker. I mean, they tell you
that.
specifically.
I haven't had
They're
any
going to
of that.
put it through the ATM. That way you're not encountering a banker, because they know we're on alert, right? They know what our hold amounts are. They know what our thresholds for cash are. They know our business as much and as well as we do. And we've talked to people who are, we know what's happening, and they are so resistant to telling us, because at that point, you're not doing exactly what they want. So then they're getting belligerent with you, like they're threatening you. And it's situations that are really terrifying. People that are alone, they don't have
I can
family.
see my mother getting it. She's
Right.
89.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The bad actors, they yell, they scream, they threaten you on the phone.
And they don't care that you're on a fixed income. They don't care if you're suffering in the hospital. They only care about making money. And so some people will say, well, no one would ever do that. I'm suffering from cancer. They don't care about you. You are literally a bank account to them. And that's the hard thing to kind of realize.
And
we're seeing it every day here at the bank.
Every
I mean,
day.
I can think of
In the North Country.
10 examples just off the top of my head in the last year of people being scammed and losing money.
And some of these scammers, they're victims as well, because they may not even be in the United States. They may be in a foreign country where they have been kidnapped and made to do this, made to watch our phone calls, made to watch our accounts. So, not only are we victims, but they may be a victim as well. And so they're afraid, they're being beaten. So it's,
But still don't send them money. Don't feel
still don't send them money, because it's not going to them.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you just don't think, oh, here it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
You're here.
Oh,
That's why
it's
we're doing
here.
this,
I'm
because
glad you're doing this.
we want to
We
get the
need
word
more
out
of
because
it.
it's just
Get the word
terrifying.
out, yeah.
It's scary.
The final thing that I will ask, that if you are involved in any organization or group or church that you think would benefit from this presentation, please have them reach out to me, take my card. I've done quite a few in Essex County, but I would like to do more up here because it is very important. And you don't have to be a customer of Champlain National Bank to come. We want anyone to come.
Because it's heartbreaking for us when we know someone's been scammed. It's incredibly heartbreaking because we often are the ones who tell them that you're out the $3,000.
It's like family to you, like us. I mean, we come here all the time.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's a horrible, horrible thing for us. So if we can stop that from happening and if we can just save one person, we feel like we've done
Mhm.
done a good job.
Yeah.
So.
Well, don't be afraid. We're here every day. So if
Yep,
something
we are.
happens or you're concerned about it, reach out.
Even if you don't bank with us, we don't care.
Yeah,
Just we don't want anyone to be a victim.
It is very sad.
yeah, it is.
They can't find these people. They have multiple
Oh, yeah.
police reports every day, and there's no way for them to track these things. We ask that people file police reports, but
It doesn't
they
usually
don't
go anywhere.
get anyone. They can't get anywhere with it because they've already moved on.
It's they just moved right on.
Mhm.
Or they're gone.
Yeah.
Their
Yeah.
phones
And it's
disappear.
usually multiple victims in a row
Yeah.
before you get to the end source.
Your bank should always be your first. If you feel like you might have been, don't call the police, call the bank first, because the faster we can try to intervene, the better chance you have of getting your money back.
Mm-hmm.
But oftentimes it's too late, so.
Yeah. Well, again, my card is there. If you haven't had a sandwich, grab a sandwich. And we thank you for coming. And there are a couple of handouts, like I said, that if you have friends or family that you think could benefit from some of the information that's on there too.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, you bet. Well, thank you.
Another